Such an old guy, and you're so rude. That's sad. You're sad, man.
You're sad, dude.
No, you keep your opinions to yourself, man. That you're in a nice hotel and you're spending your time being negative like that. That's disappointing. I hope you have a great night.
You too.
So Ann Coulter canceled, and there's some kind of pickup event taking place with new speakers. Gavin McInnes is flying in. Ann Coulter won't be there. By the time you're watching this, the event probably already happened because this is happening the day before I edit and then upload. But I'm going to go meet up with one of the speakers, Baked Alaska, who's kind of controversial. He's had some issues, some fights within the Trump supporter community, and he's one of the speakers here. So I'm going to go meet up with him and talk to him about who he is and what he's doing. So I don't want to reveal Bake's location. I don't want anyone to find out where he's staying because it could get dangerous. So I'm not going to film much more. I'm going to start filming again once I get to his room to do the interview. It'll be the blink of an eye for you, but it'll be a couple minutes for me. So Bake just hit me up and he said he doesn't care if people know where he's staying, just as long as I don't know what room he's in, because this place is totally ridiculous. It's like a goddamn castle. And it's really hard to find your way in anyway, so I guess if anybody did come here, they would get just as lost as I did. Here he is. How's it going, sir?
What's going on?
Good to see you.
Sir, my
Hi.
girlfriend.
I think we met before, right?
Yeah.
Sweet. You want to, I don't know, somewhere where we can go and be loud, I guess.
Be loud?
So why are you staying at the absurd Platinum Spoon Country Club?
Because last time we stayed at the DoubleTree and it really wasn't safe.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I mean, there were people outside that didn't seem very friendly to people in Trump hats, I'll just say that.
Rude?
You're rude, man.
Very rude person. Well,
Such an old guy, and you're so
should be
rude.
ashamed
That's
of
sad.
yourself.
You're sad, man.
You're sad, dude.
No, you keep your opinions to yourself, man. That you're in a nice hotel and you're spending your time being negative like that. That's disappointing. I hope you have a great night.
You too.
Take care.
What did that guy just say?
That guy just came up to me and said, Trump's a fucking asshole. I have no Trump gear on me, by the way.
He knows who you
Neither
are.
do I.
He knows who you
No,
are.
he knows who I am. I have
Yeah.
an American flag on. I have no Trump gear on. And I'm in a nice hotel. We were just talking about how I have to stay in a nicer hotel because we were scared of getting harassed at the other hotel for Trump hats. I'm not even wearing a Trump hat.
You're not wearing anything Trump.
I'm not wearing
You're
anything Trump.
That guy knows who you are.
You know, exactly.
You made it to Berkeley again.
Yeah. Just got to Berkeley.
Did you were here on the 15th?
Yeah, I was here 2 weeks ago. I spoke at the free speech rally, and now I came here to see Ann Coulter with a busload of Trump people.
You were on a bus?
Yeah, so we actually took a party bus full of Trump people, like 20 Trump people, and one friend that I have that doesn't like Trump, just so we could like mix it up.
But so this actually, does this confirm what everyone's saying, that Antifa and the Trump supporters aren't even from Berkeley? They're coming from all over and staging here?
I don't think so. I mean, there are people coming from all over because I've been coming, this is my second time, and I know Milo's going to put on some events, and so I'll probably come back for that. So I think it has become a sort of grounds for free speech and kind of a culture war that is going on. But I do think the majority of the people are from Berkeley here.
So let's cut to the chase and go straight for the I guess the political accusations.
Yeah.
Are the people coming here Nazis?
No, absolutely
White
not.
nationalists?
I'm not a white nationalist. I think maybe there are some that come here, but I don't.
There were definitely some on April 15th.
Yeah, there
I
was
actually argued with them.
Yeah, there's definitely some there. I don't think it's the majority of people. I don't think anyone could argue that, but there's definitely some there. And I think there's people on both sides that have some fault. Definitely, like, people are saying that all the Trump people are peaceful, and I would disagree as a Trump supporter. I did see, some Trump people throwing fists and instigating some stuff. What I think the clear distinction, though, is the Trump side, for the most part, was more peaceful. They were not throwing M80s. They were not throwing fireworks. They were not throwing massive boulders and bottles and trying to harm people. They took more of a defensive stance from what I saw. And that's what we're doing, this time around. We're going in defensive. If I see someone just go up and sucker punch someone, I don't care if they're Trump, I don't care if they're Gary Johnson, I don't care who they are. I condone that.
Gary Johnson?
Yeah, there's a couple of them around.
All right. So we'll try again.
Okay.
Are these people coming here racists?
Which people?
Like the Trump people.
Trump people? No, absolutely
Are
not.
you a racist?
No.
So here's the thing though.
Yeah.
You got in trouble because you made some jokes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Where you posted 1488.
Yeah.
And JQ.
Yeah.
So people have accused you of being a Nazi.
They have.
So, but explain those things.
Sure, yeah. So, I'm all for free speech. I'm for free speech. I think when you cross the line is when you advocate for violence. So, I've never done that. I've made Twitter jokes, but, I believe them to be jokes, and I believe there's lessons to be learned. I've had a lot of great conversations with people that are like, oh, that wasn't, that didn't really come across the best way, and I've apologized to those people that I've offended because that was not my intent.
Do you regret making those posts?
I don't regret making those posts because I'm a stronger person today. I have more followers. I know more people. I'm a bigger influencer because of that whole thing that went on. And so I think I had to go through that learning experience to figure out that even though some things are covered under free speech, it still doesn't make them, it's legal to be an asshole. It's legal to kind of be a jerk. And that's kind of what I realized through that experience, is that although, yes, technically I can say that, and I'm not advocating for violence against anyone, it was just trolling. It wasn't productive. And so I realized that I want to be as productive as possible, and I want to red pill as many people as possible and wake people up to the truth. And if trolling and doing jokes like that is going to hold me back, then I'm willing to give that up. And that's all it was with jokes.
There were people at the April 15th rally giving the what's it called, the Roman salute, like the Nazi salute.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of people say that they're trolling, right? It's a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I see it is, regardless of whether or not you're joking, the average American's going to see that and think it's real.
Yeah, I agree. And so that's why I've stopped doing. I've never done the Roman salute. There's no footage of me doing that. I swear to God. But that's why I would say to other people out there who maybe are alt-right or right-wing, I would agree that doing that salute, doing a Nazi salute, whether or not it's a joke or you're trolling, you're free to do it if you want to do it. I'm not stopping you. No one's stopping you, but it's not productive, in my opinion. I've been around the block for a while. I've tinkered with trolling and jokes, but I don't think that accomplishes anything.
So Ann Coulter's out, right?
Ann Coulter's out. Yeah, she's been canceled. She's been banned from Berkeley.
She's banned from Berkeley? Or figuratively you're saying
she's sort of
out.
She's sort of banned from Berkeley. They essentially didn't provide the security. They didn't provide her room. They didn't provide her with an adequate time. She tweeted out this morning, she's like, I don't even know when I'm speaking, where I'm speaking. they kind of left her in the dust. And so to me, that's sort of like a ban, because imagine if there was someone on the left, a beautiful, strong feminist speaker, they would probably have the room, they'd have the time, so it was kind of like they were giving her the cold shoulder and pretending like, oh, we're not really banning you, but at the same time, they were.
You're speaking tomorrow now.
Sure, yeah.
What are you going to be speaking about?
I'm speaking about free speech. So to explain, yes, Ann Coulter was canceled. And because of that, we put together an impromptu free speech rally. So me, Gavin McInnes, Lauren Southern, Brittany Pettibone, Faith Goldie, and some others. And this is going to be at Martin Luther King Park at 2 p.m. And the thing that I am kind of emphasizing on is that free speech has been around before Donald Trump. Free speech is not going anywhere. And like a lot of people think that it only has to do with Donald Trump. It only has to do with people on the right wing. And I'm trying to unify people. I'm trying to tell people that people of all sorts of beliefs can get on board with the free speech idea. And I think it's important. And I want to defend people who I don't agree with. People, on the left that I may think their ideas are stupid, but I want to defend their right to speech. If there was a left-wing person at Berkeley trying to give a speech, I think they should be able to give that speech. So
all of these speakers that have been scheduled are right-wing people.
Yeah.
Don't you think it would be productive then to schedule some left-wing speakers as well, and to show that unity?
Yeah, I'm open to it. This was put together with literally hours before we are able to promote it and do it tomorrow at the park. So this is just kind of our circle of people on the right. But if someone on the left wants to speak, I am completely open to letting them speak. Honestly, and this is a great point I want to say. I was thinking about this today. If Antifa came up to me and I was speaking and they were like, hey bro, and they had their mask on, they were like, hey bro, I want to say something, and they were serious, they were genuine, I would give Antifa the mic. I would let Antifa talk. I want to hear from Antifa. And I've gone up to Antifa, I've said, hey guys, what is your stance? What do you believe in? What are your values? And every time, they don't say anything to me. They just, you might have seen at the last Berkeley rally, I tried to give a Pepsi to one of the protesters, and he said, yeah, I won't throw it, I won't do anything, and then he just chucked the thing.
But they probably feel like you're making fun of them. You're playing a joke, you're like, come on, here's a Pepsi.
Well, yeah, it is a joke. It's funny. I mean, these guys have no senses of humor. Like, if someone from Antifa side was like, hey, here's a Pepsi, like, I'd think that was funny. And I was able to try talking to them and crack some jokes with them. They just don't seem to want to have a dialogue. And I see our side wanting to have a dialogue. I don't really see the same thing back. And I also see the Antifa side is openly promoting violence. If you look at their Facebook pages, if you look at their Twitter pages, they have, punch a Nazi, they have 100 Nazi scalps, they have violent messages. This is not a fringe group of them. This is on the main Facebook pages, on the main Twitter accounts.
They are the fringe left, though. I mean,
they are the fringe
they're like
left.
As far left as you could probably
get. But I'm
get.
saying in the movement, you have to say everyone in Antifa is promoting violence. And if you were to say the far right group, I would say not everyone in the alt-right is promoting violence. That's my point, is their whole organization is based around violence.
Are you alt-right?
I don't like labels anymore. I used to call myself alt-right, and
then the whole Richard Spencer thing happened.
It's like, I'm not giving anyone a label anymore. Because here's the thing, is that I've called myself alt-right, and then the definition keeps changing. And people are like, oh, so alt-right means now you're a white supremacist. And so the question, I like to say a question back to people. So when people say, are you alt-right? I like to say, okay, what is your definition of alt-right? And if they say, oh, well, white nationalist, white supremacist, I say, no, well, that's not me. I'm not a white nationalist. I'm not a white supremacist. I believe everyone has a right to be an American. I believe everyone has a right to free speech. I'm not into refugees flooding in here, and I'm for immigration laws and America first, American nationalism. So it depends what people define by all right. If that's what you think is all right, then sure. But moving forward, I'm just not going to be attached to those sorts of labels because they pigeonhole you with those labels, and I'm sure they do that on the left too. Maybe people that are in Black Lives Matter, people think all those people are bad, and I don't think all those people are bad. So I'm just kind of staying away from a lot of those labels.
So you're about American nationalism. So how do you feel about immigration in general?
Yeah, I think I am for American nationalism. I see things happening to our cities. I see problems. I live in Los Angeles now. I'm from Alaska, but I see stuff like Skid Row. I see the homeless population, and it's completely sad to me. And I think America First describes the policies so well because we need to focus on our own citizens before we're going out and helping other people from other countries. And I'm all for helping other people from other countries, don't get me wrong. I have 5 adopted sisters from Russia. And I'm not a Russian spy, by the way.
It's too late.
That's
it. You're a Russian spy.
Luis Mensch, actually, it's funny, put me on this list of Russian spy people, and I'm on that list.
It's like McCarthyism.
Yeah.
So, but immigration, let's say someone right now applied, came to the United States, and started working.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
If they are trying to become a legal citizen, if they're assimilating to our culture, and they're doing it the right legal way, I have no problem with that.
What if they come and overstay their visa? Like, what if they come and do everything right, they're working, and then they have troubles, they can't get their visa renewed, and they're here, and they stay?
I think it should be looked at. If they are abusing our system, I think they need to go back. And I mean, the reality is we can't keep everyone here. I mean, I wish we could just keep everyone and have enough resources and land, but we can't do that. So if they are breaking the law, if they are overextending their stay, they have to go back.
So what about dreamers? I'll say the dreamers is a really complicated issue.
Yeah.
It's tough because these are people who came here when they were too young to make the decision on their own. Now they're here. They don't know any other country. What is your feeling on how we deal with that situation?
Yeah, I think that's a very complicated situation. I agree. I would say we need to enforce our current immigration laws. If that is legal under our current immigration laws, I think they can stay. If it is violating our current immigration laws, I think they need to go. And I do think it's good to, you have to have some empathy. I think there's 2 extremes right now. There's one where it's total empathy, which I see a lot of people on the left, and they're like, we got to bring everyone in, we got to, give everyone a green card, we got to give everyone welfare, all this stuff. And that, I think, is bad. I think complete, everyone's out, every single person, if you're 1 day over, 1 minute over, you're booting over the wall. I think that's a little too extreme. I think finding a happy medium where we can enforce our current immigration laws and also have some empathy for people, I think that's the right balance that I would vote for.
Right, man. So, final thoughts? Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, so thank you, obviously, for the time. I think it's going to be a great time here in Berkeley. I urge everyone who's out here to support the cause and to watch what's going on and stay informed. I've gone around and talked to the local news. I've talked to NBC, CBS out on the street, and they really have just started to tune in on what's been going on and brewing here in Berkeley for months. And it's pretty amazing. There's a huge culture war going on, and I think it's very important. I know people say, oh, this is one small part of America, but I think, Berkeley used to be the grounds for free speech, and I think this is brewing as the new grounds for what free speech is going to look like in the new era of America, in Trump's America. I think this is going to define, what happens this year in Berkeley is going to define for the rest of the United States and possibly the world what free speech is going to look like. And we believe we have to come here not just to defend Ann Coulter, but to defend free speech as a whole, because she's a strong woman who's getting shut down just because she wants to speak about her beliefs, and that's completely ridiculous. Like, we can't stand for that, man. So I encourage people to stand up and get out. Internet stuff is great, hashtags are great, but you got to get out on the streets if you really want to make a difference, I think. But anything you can do, just do something and stay informed and spread the truth. That's all I got to say.
Well, by the time people watch this, it's all going down, right? Because my schedule. So this is going to be tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Yeah,
we might be in the thick of some unfortunate violence, I guess.
Yeah.
But maybe, hey, people watching this right now, comment below and tell us if we are wrong or not. How did it turn out?
Yeah, and I hope it's safe because the media out here is actually very pessimistic. They came up to me and other Trump supporters and they're like, hey, are you guys sure you want to wear a Trump hat out here on campus? And we're like, yeah, we're fine. And they're like, no, I don't think you should do that. So the sentiment here from what we've heard from the media and the locals has been they're really pissed off at Trump supporters. When I was walking in the hallway, as you saw, a random guy cussed me out and you're
not even wearing anything. It's
and
crazy.
I'm not even wearing a Trump hat. I'm wearing an American flag hat and he's coming after me. So it's definitely extremely tense here. I hope that it's going to be okay. I was talking about this earlier, is that unfortunately, I think eventually there is going to be some sort of casualty in all this. I pray that it doesn't happen, but the way I see it escalating and the anger I see without people taking the time to understand each other and have conversations, I see that it could possibly lead to a casualty. I mean, last time, 2 weeks ago, when I saw you here, the sticks, the bricks, the M80s, the bike lock.
So, yeah,
that could have been a casualty there. So if this continues at the same rate or even more than it did last time, I'm afraid there is going to be a casualty. And that's really going to, spark things up.
This is the 4th event, and now Milo's talking about a 5th week-long event. It seems like this is just making everything worse.
You could argue that it's making everything worse, but this is a fight that needs to be fought, and I want to fight this fight with words. I want to fight it with debate of ideas and not with violence. But clearly there's a fight brewing in our country where there's two ideologies and stuff's got to be talked out. This has been, bottled up rage from both sides. And if we don't talk it out, it's going to get really violent. And I'm not threatening violence. I don't condone any physical violence at all. That's terrible. But I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that if we don't talk this out, if we don't figure it out, if we don't compromise or, just learn to agree to disagree, we have to agree to disagree. We can't, just yell at each other, say, oh, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're a cuck.
Both sides are doing it.
Both sides are guilty, man. I'll tell you that. Both sides are guilty. And if we can't talk to each other, if we can't walk in a hotel room, a private hotel, and not scream at someone because they look like they might be a Trump supporter or a Hillary supporter, that's a sad country to live in. And so I really hope, and I think we will get past this, and we have to keep fighting for this cause in a responsible and productive way.
Right on, man. So where can people find you?
People can find me mostly on Twitter and Periscope at Baked Alaska.
All right. Thanks, dude.
All right. Thanks, man. Always a pleasure.
So that's Baked. That's the interview. I have no idea what happened at the rally because this is coming out, this edit is coming out after the rally already happened. So
I think everything's fine. I think everyone's good.
We'll see what happens. But thanks, man, for doing the interview.
Yeah.
If you like videos like this, make sure to subscribe. New videos every single day. Comment below and let me know what you think. Do you hate this guy? Do you love this guy? Let me know what you think.
They love me. They all love
me. Maybe. They'll tell us. But you can find me on Twitter at Timcast, Instagram, Periscope, everywhere at Timcast. Again, subscribe for more videos like this. Share the video if you like it. I will see you all tomorrow.